श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। ओम सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। तदेवम् आपाततः क्षेत्र भेद दर्शनम् अभ्युनुज्ञाय क्षेत्रज्ञ भेद दर्शनम् अपाकृतम् इदानीं तु क्षेत्रभेद दर्शनमपि मायिकत्वेन अपाकरोति। तदेवम् आपाततः आपाततः means accidentally, for no reason. क्षेत्रभेद दर्शनम् अभ्युनुज्ञाय, we have accepted finally without any reason. Okay, let it be. Kind of we have accepted the duality in kshetra, the field, the kshetra, everything, body, sense organs, everything. Accepting the duality there with us in the kshetra, kshetrajna bheda darshanam apakritam. We have negated the duality in the kshetrajna. The kshetrajna, the self, is not dual. It is a one non-dual. This we established. Idanim tu, but now kshetra bheda darshanam api maikatvena. See, even the duality of kshetra, the body, sense organs, the whole world is illusory. Therefore, that is also negated. Apakaroti, that is also negated. यदा भूत पृथक् भावम् एकस्थम् अनुपश्यति तत एव च विस्तारं ब्रह्म सम्पद्यते तदा। यदा भूत पृथक् भावम् एकस्थम् अनुपश्यति तत एव च विस्तारं ब्रह्म सम्पद्यते तदा। यदा भूत पृथक् भावम् एकस्थम् अनुपश्यति, यदा at which point of time भूत पृथक् भावम् the duality in the creation ekastam ekasmin sitam, to exist in one substratum, non-dual substratum, anupashyati, he sees. Anupashyati, I'll just translate it as he sees. Okay, pashyati is sees, anupashyati following he sees. So what is following we will understand later, but now we will understand it as he sees. He sees the duality existing in non-duality as its substratum. Tata eva cha vistaram, only from that it gets the vistara, it gets the expansion, it becomes expanded, the duality, the world of duality. From that non-dual self the world gets expansion, means it gets extended. At that point of time, when he understands that the expansion exists in one non-duality, having it as its substratum, Brahma Sampadyate Tada Brahma Sampadyate, he understands the absolute. Yada Yasmin Kali Bhutanam Sthavara Jangamanam Sarvesham Pi Jadavarganam Prasak Bhavam Prasakvam Paraspara Bhinnatvam Ekastham. Yada means Yasmin Kali, at which point of time Bhutana means Sthavara Jangamanam, the animate and inanimate, the elements, the plants, etc., everything, all this. Sarvesham Pi Jadavarganam. When we say animate and inanimate, we just don't refer to the trees and plants. We refer to every inert object in the creation. Prasak Bhavam. Prasak Bhavam means Prasaktam, the duality. Paraspara Bhinnatvam. Even he explained, one being different from the other. This state, Ekastham, Ekasmineva Atmani Sadrupestam Kalpitam. Existing in one non-dual self. Sthitam means existing. Existing means he is explaining it as kalpitam, superimposed. When one understands it, then kalpitasya adhishtanat anatirekat sadrupa atmasurupat anatiriktam anupashyati. Since the superimposed does not have any different kind of existence other than the substratum, a special kind of existence other than the substratum. Yesterday I explained, you see the hand, you don't see the pot, absence of pot. You only see the substratum, you don't see the superimposed object. So when he sees Swarupa, similarly, when he sees all these existence, whatever the creation to be existing in the Sadrupa Atma, in the self which is of the nature of existence, and the other things to be not different from that existence, anupashyati. Anupashyati, now understand. Anupashyati means shastra acharya upadesham anu swayam alochayati atmaividam sarvamiti. Anu means after. Anu, when we say, when you add a prefix anu, it means after. After what? Shastra acharya upadesham anu. After the teaching of Shastra by the Acharya, following it, anu, pashyati, swayam alochayati, he thinks for himself. See, it is not that I teach you, you become liberated. No, I teach you, you have to grasp and you have to process it and understand it, make it your own. Then Atmaivedam, you will understand. In what way? Atmaivedam sarvam, all this is absolute self. When that is the situation, evampi mayavasha tata ekastam ekasmad atmanah eva vistaram bhutanam prathak bhavam. And also, because of the maya, the illusory nature maya, ekasmad atmanah, from one non-dual self, eva vistaram bhutanam, this expansion of all the creation came into existence. That duality, when he understands that, swapnamaya anupashyati, like the dream creations. The dream creation exists in one dreamer. Multiple creations in the dream exists in one dreamer. Similarly, the whole creation exists in this seer. Therefore, Brahma sampatyate. At that point of time, when he sees this equivalent to the dream objects, then Brahma sampatyate, he gains the Brahman. Sajatiya vijatiya bheda darshana abhavat brahmaiva sarvanartha shunyam bhavati tasmin kale. Because there is no duality of sajatiya and vijatiya, samana jatiya and virodha jatiya. Samana jatiya of the same class, duality of same class. Vijatiya bheda means duality of a different class. Duality of same class, mango tree. They are two different, same class. Okay, this mango tree is different from the other mango tree. And vijatiya bheda, mango tree different from neem tree. They are of different classes. So mango tree class and neem tree class. So in this way, there is no duality. Therefore, sarvanartha shunyam bhavati. He becomes that absolute self, meaning he becomes devoid of any kind of trouble. Anartha, trouble, problems, sorrow. Tasmin kali, at that very point. How do you know this? Yasmin sarvani bhutani atmaiva bhut vijanatah tatra ko moha kashokaha ekatvam anupashyatah. At which point of time, this is Ishavasya Upanishad mantra, at which point of time one sees the beings, the creation, as the self, absolute self itself. When one knows that, where is the possibility of delusion, moha? Where is the possibility of shoka, sorrow, when one sees the non-dual self? Prakrityaiva cheta yatra atmabhedo nirakritha. Prakrityaiva cha ityatra atmabhedo nirakritha. Yada bhutaprisakbhavam ityatra tu anatmabhedo api iti vishesha. See, Prakrityaiva cha, with this mantra, the atmabheda, the duality in the atma, the individual self, nana jivavada, that was negated. Now here, yada bhuta prathak bhavam, here the duality with respect to the non-self is also negated. Atmanah svato akartrutve api sharira sambandha upadhikam kartrutvam syaditi ashankam apanudan. Yapashyati satmanam akartaram sapashyati iti etad vivranoti. Atmanah svato akartrutve api, though the atma may not be the doer by itself, Since it has association with the body sense organ complex, it also will become doer. In this doubt, to negate this doubt, whatever was said earlier, yah pashyati tatmanam akartaram sapashyati, one who sees at that point of time the self to be non-doer, only that person sees the real self. That whatever was said, vivarnoti, it is explained here. Anaditvat nirgunatvat paramatmayam avyayah sharirasthopi kaunteya na karoti na lipyate. Beautiful. Anaditvat nirgunatvat paramatma ayam avyayah sharirasthopi kaunteya na karoti na lipyate. Anaditvat, being causeless. Being causeless, there is no causation for, there is no cause for self. Nirgunatvat, meaning it's not an object. Okay, it is not a dravya. Nirgunatvat, it is not, it does not have any attribute. Guna also does not exist in it. Dravya means it should have to have guna. A pot means pot will have the attributes like blue, red, size, etc. So those kind of attributes don't exist. Paramatmayam avyaya, this Paramatma, because it is not an object, it is not an attribute, it is avyaya. Navyeti iti avyaya. That which does not undergo transformation. Vyaya means transformation. Sharirasthopi kaunte, though it exists in the body, na karoti na lipyate, it does not do anything, it is not associated with anything. Ayam aparokshah paramatma parameshwara bhinnah pratyagatma avyayah navyeti iti avyayah. This ayam, when we say this means aparokshah, that which is immediate. Yes, sakshat aparokshat brahma, this Brahman is immediate. So that is why, since it is immediate, it is of the nature of experience, it gives experiencership to everything else. It gives the experiencer state to all the things. Brahman gives the existence and experiencership to things. So that is happening only because of this Brahman. Okay, now anaditvat. Paramatma parameshwara. Paramatma means this Parameshwara, this absolute self. Abhinnaha, Parameshwara abhinnaha pratyagatma. Paramatma, when we say with the absolute, the Ishvara, who is not different from the Jiva, that very self, avyayah, he does not undergo any transformation. Sarva vikara shunya ityartha means he does not have any, he is devoid of any kind of transformation. That's the idea. Tatra vyayodvedha. See, the transformation or declining, the decay can be of two types. Dharmi swarupasya eva utpattimattaya va dharmi swarupasya anutpadyatve api dharmanam eva utpatyadimattaya va. It can be of two types. One, the dharmi is dharmi means the dravya, the object. The object is created. When the object is created, it will undergo all kind of transformations. Or though the object may not be created, it is not an object and it is not created, there can be transformation with respect to the attributes of the object. Still there will be decay. So these are the two possibilities. So the first possibility is negated. Tatra adyam apakaroti. First possibility, the transformation with respect to the object itself. Dharmi. Dharmi means dharma yasya asti iti dharmi. That which has the attributes. That is dharmi, meaning the dravya, the substance. So it is not a substance. That's the idea first. Anaditvat. That is what is negated with anaditvat, the hetu. Panchami hetu. In fifth case, we use for giving a reason. So this is, we are giving a reason here. Anaditvat. Adi means, what is first? Anadi means na adi iti. First, Adi. What is Adi? We have to understand. Prag asatva avastha, prag abhava avastha is Adi. The pot begins means it was before the beginning. It was absent. Prior absence. That which has prior absence is a Adimat. That which has a beginning. So, sacha nasti sarvada sata atmanah. That does not exist for this self at any point of time. Sarvada. For this self which is of the nature of existence. Ataha tasya karanabhava janmabhava. Since there is no cause, there is no creation. It is not created. Nahi anadehe janma sambhavati. Something which is accepted to be anadi cannot be created, produced. Tad abhavecha tad uttarabhavino bhavikaraha na sambhavati. And when there is no creation, based on the creation, whatever transformations will take place, jayate, asti, vardate, pramanante, apakshiyate, vinashyati, this shadbha vikara will not exist. Ataha na swarupena vyeti. Therefore, in his inherent nature, it does not undergo any transformation. Dvitiyam nirakarati. The second is negated. Second means a substance was negated first. It is not a substance. The second, it is not an attribute also. So, change in attribute also brings in some transformation. So, that is also not possible here. Nirgunatvat. Why? Because it is attributeless. Nirdharmakatvat ityartha. It is without any dharma. That's the idea. Nahi dharminam avikritya kasyat dharma upayiti va. Dharma dharminoho tadatmyat. Dharminam avikritya. Without the transformation in the dharmi, there can be no change in the dharmas. Here, with respect to Vedanta, because we see dharmi and dharma to be tadatmya. Dharminor tadatmyam. Identifying. The dharma has identified itself with the dharmi. The dharmi has identified itself with the dharma. Tadatmane bhava iti tadatmyam. That it becomes that very thing. So, there is no difference here. Nirdharmaka, meaning it is without any dharma. Ataha na dharma dwara vyeti ityartha. Therefore, it cannot undergo any transformation through the dharmas also. Avinashi va are ayam atma anuchiti dharma iti shruti. Shruti also says, oh dear, this atma is of the nature of that which is devoid of transformation. The atma is of the nature of that which is devoid of transformation. Yasmat esha jayate asti vardate viparanamate apakshiyate vinashyati iti evam shadbha vikara shunyah. Since it does not have any of these 6 kinds of transformation, it is born, gains existence, grows, undergoes transformations, undergoes decay, and completely gets destructed. It does not have any of these transformations. Therefore, adhyasikena sambandhena sharirasthopi. Though it exists in the body, if it exists, what is the relationship between the body and the self? Superimposed relationship. It is not sanyoga, it is not samvaya, it is not separable relationship, it is not inseparable relationship, but it is superimposed relationship. Tasmin kurvati ayam atma, tasmin kurvanti ayam atma na karoti. Even when the body does some activity, this self does not do any activity. It is not associated with any kind of activity. Yatha adhyasikena sambandhena jalastha savita tasmin chalatyapi na chalatyeva tatvat. Like the superimposed sun, which is seen in the reflection of the water. Though when the water moves, the sun seems to move, the reflection of the sun seems to move. Though the reflection of the sun seems to move in the water, in reality it does not undergo any change. Yataha na karoti kinchidapi karma, ataha kenapi karma phalena nipyate. Since it does not perform any kind of karma, therefore it cannot be associated with any kind of results also. Yo hi yat karma karoti sa tat phalena lipyate na tu ayam akartrutvad ityartha. One who does any karma, he will be, if he does any karma, if he has identification with the karma, he will be definitely associated with the results of the karma. Since he is not, the self is not identified with the karmas, he will not be associated with the results of the karma too. इच्छा द्वेष सुख दुःखम इत्यादीनां क्षेत्र धर्म कथनात् प्रकृतेव च कर्माणि क्रियमाणानि इति माया कार्यत्व उपदेशाच्च. इच्छा, the desire, hatred, happiness, sorrow, etc., we established it to be the qualities, the attributes of the kshetra. And prakrteva cha karmani kriyamanani iti maya karyatva updeshacha. Prakriti, only through the prakriti, the maya, all the activities are done. This was also established earlier. Iti अत एव परमार्थ दर्शिनां सर्वकर्म अधिकार निवृत्तिरिति प्राग्व्याख्यातम्. That is the reason why a person who sees the absolute truth, he is devoid of any association with the karmas. You have to understand this. It is not because he becomes devoid of association with the karmas, he becomes realist. Then the lazy fellows, the stupid people who don't understand what karma is, those fellows also don't perform any karma. So they will become realist. Can we accept them to be realist? No, idiots are idiots always. Whether they perform the karmas or not, they are idiots. So with the relationship to karmas, non-association, just because he is not associated with the karmas does not make him realist. It is like the story I said. My disciple, Brahmatma Swarup, late disciple, who died last 2 years ago due to COVID. So this fellow, he came to me once. Ji, I have a doubt. I said, yes, what? He looked like this a lot. Ramakrishna Paramhansa had cancer, throat cancer here. Yes, true. Raman Maharshi had cancer. He had cancer in his hand. Yes, true. I think whoever has cancer has realization. Whoever has cancer is realist. I said this kind of vyapti cannot be created. Vyapti cannot be gained. Yatra yatra dhumaha tatra tatra vannihi. Wherever there is smoke, there is fire. This concomitance is what is called as vyapti. Can be no concomitance like this. One who has cancer is a realist. Realized person may have cancer. There is no compulsion that he should have to have cancer. But definitely a person with cancer cannot be realized. So this is what it looks like. This logic looks like. A person who does not have association with karmas is realized. No. The person who has realization will not be associated with the karmas. Even if he performs, he will knows that he is not associated with any of these karmas. एतेन आत्मनो निर्धर्म कथनात् स्वगत भेदो अपि निरस्तः. With this, the Atma is attributeless. Therefore, the swagata bheda means duality in oneself. The one mango tree, the leaf, the branches, etc. That duality is also negated. See, earlier he negated the duality of same class, sajatiya bheda, and then he negated duality of different class, vijatiya bheda. Now he is negating the swagata bheda, duality of the same class in itself, not same class, in itself. Duality in itself. Prakrtya eva cha karmani ityatra sajatiya bhedo nivaritah. Yada bhuta prasak bhavam ityatra vijatiya bhedah. Anaditvad nirgunatvad ityatra swagata bhedo iti advitiyam brahmaiva atmeti siddham. See, in 3 shlokas, he is negating the sajatiya, vijatiya and swagata bheda respectively. He is explaining this with shlokas also. प्रकृत्यैव च कर्माणि क्रियमाणानि सर्वशः. With this, the sajatya veda is negated. Yada bhutapradbhavam anupashyati. So there he negated the vijatya bhava, and with this very shloka anaditvat nirgunatvat he negates the swagata bheda also. शरीरस्थोपि तत् कर्मणा न लिप्यते स्वयं असंगत्वादित्यत्र दृष्टान्तमः. Though he exists in the body sense organ complex, he is not associated with the karmas performed through that body sense organ complex, through that embodiment. How is it possible? For that he is giving an example. He is explaining with an example. यथा सर्वगतं सौक्ष्म्यात् आकाशं न उपलिप्यते सर्वत्र अवस्थितं देहे तथात्मा न उपलिप्यते. यथा us, you see, yatha. So us and similarly tatha. So as sarvagatam saukshmyad akasham akasham sarvagatam akasham saukshmyat na upalipyate. The akasha, which is all pervading, the all pervading ether space, because it is subtle, it is not associated with anything. Tatha, similarly, atma सर्वत्र अवस्थितं सर्वत्र देहे अवस्थितं आत्मा अवस्थितः आत्मा न उपलिप्यते. In every place, in every body, that which self exists is also not associated. Like the space is not associated, the all pervading space is not associated with anything. Similarly, the all pervading self also is not associated with anything. Saukshmyat means subtle. Subtle means asangatva, because it is not associated with anything. That is the idea of saukshmya. Asanga swabhavatvat. Akasham sarvagatamati. Though the space is all pervading, na upalipyate, it is not associated with anything. Pankadibhir yatheti drishtantārtha. Like associated with the dirt, etc. आकाशादौ तलमलिनाः तलमलिनादि दृश्यन्ते बालाः. In Brahma Sutra, Bhagavan Bhashyakara says the kids, they superimpose the floor or the ceiling or the dirt, etc. on the space. Oh, there is that ceiling kind of the blue ceiling, and see there is dirt there. So those kind of things the kids superimpose because of their ignorance. Similarly, this fellow superimposes. That's all. It does not exist in the self. Spashtam mitrata. They expressed this very clear. Na kevalam asangasvabhatvad atmanah nopalipyate prakashakattvadapi prakashya dharmehi na lipyate iti sadrishtantamah. So since it is not, it's just because it is asanga, it is not associated. It's not just that. Prakashaka Swarupatva, the Atma is of the nature of effulging, illumining. So even because of the nature of illumining, it is not, even if it is illumining everything, it is not associated with that idea of I am the illuminer kind of. So Niprakashya Dharmopi Nanipyate. Yasa Prakashyam Eka Kritsnam Lokam Imam Ravihi Kshetram Kshetri Tatha Kritsnam Prakashayati Bharata. यथा प्रकाशयति एकः कृत्स्नं लोकम् इमं रविः क्षेत्रं क्षेत्री तथा कृत्स्नं प्रकाशयति हे भारत. यथा एकः रविः इमं कृत्स्नं लोकं प्रकाशयति. Ravi means sun. People give this name to male child, boy child. See the boys. So the baby boy, they give the name Ravi. Boys, many boys have this name Ravi. Ravi means a sun. Like ekah Ravihi, this one sun. Imam kritsnam lokam, all this creation, prakasheti, it illumines. Like the sun, one sun illumines all the creation. Tatha, similarly, kshetri means a one who exists in the kshetra, the kshetrajna. Kshetram kritsnam prakasheti, he illumines all the creation. This kshetri, this kshetrajna illumines all the kshetras. Hey Bharata. Yatha ravihi ekah eva kritsam sarvam imam lokam dehendriya sanghatam. So This one non-dual sun, this one sun, it illumines everything. The lokam means local to loke. So to local to darshne, whatever you see, means this body sense organ complex. Rupavad vastu matramati, meaning any object which has a form. Prakasheti, it illumines. Nacha prakashya dharma hi lipyate, it is not associated with that attribute of illumining. I am the illuminer, etc. No, it is not associated, it does not have any ego of being the illuminer. Nava prakashya bheda vidyate. And it does not differentiate between the illumining. So there also the gradation of illumining also is not there. Even if there is gradation of illumining, it is not different in those different gradations. Sun is super hot and super bright in the midday, and in the morning, early morning, it is not so. So that does not make the sun to be different. Tatha similarly, kshetri kshetrajnaha, kshetri means kshetrajnaha, that one who resides in the kshetra is kshetri, kshetrajnaha, that means kshetrajna. Eka eva krishnam kshetram prakasheti. Hey Bharata, he is the one who illumines the whole creation. अतएव न प्रकाश्य धर्मैः लिप्यते न वा प्रकाश्य भेदात् विद्यते. That is why he does not differentiate between the, he is not identified with the attribute of the illumining, nor does he become different because of the different states of illumination. In the sun, in the stone, you don't see that kind of illumination of self. In the jiva, you see the illumination of self. In the realist, the illumination is at its peak, the absolute. So it does not, the self does not, just because it is not illuminating completely, it is not illumined completely in the stone, it does not become different from the realist one's self. Suryo yatha sarva lokasya chakshuhu na lipyate chakshvairvakya doshaihi ekastata sarvabhutantaratma na lipyate loka dukkhena vakshya iti shruti. The Shruti also very clearly, beautifully says, Surya yatha surya, like the sun, sarva lokasya chakshu, which is the eye for all the creation, na lipyate is not associated, is not tainted, chakshusaihi bahya doshaihi, of the objects which are perceived, the defects or the good attributes, bad or good attributes of the objects which are perceived. Tatha similarly, eka sarvabhutantaratma, the one non-dual self which is the indweller in all the beings, na lipyate loka dukkhena bhashya, is not tainted by the sorrows of the world, happiness or sorrows of the world, external world. Idanim adhyaya artham safalam upasamharati. So this is the final shloka. In this shloka, the essence of this chapter and the result one gains by understanding this chapter is explained. Kshetra kshetnyor evam antaram jnana chakshusha bhuta pratimoksham cha ye viduryanti te param. Kshetra kshetrajnyoho evam antaram jnana chakshusha bhuta prakritim moksham cha ye viduhu yanti te param. Kshetra kshetrajnyoho, the different antaram means difference, the difference between the kshetra and the kshetrajna, jnana chakshusha, with the eyes of knowledge, bhuta prakriti moksham cha, the nature of the bhuta and liberation from that prakriti, from that ignorance, ye viduhu, one who understands, yanti te param, they gain the absolute. Iti Shri Mahabharate Shatashastriyam Samhitayam Vaiyasikyam Bhishma Parvani Shrimad Bhagavad Gita Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Kshetra Kshetrajna Vibhaga Yogo Nama Trayodoshodhyayah. We come to the end of 13th chapter. Tika. Kshetra Kshetrajna Yoho. Kshetra Kshetrajna Yoho means in dual case it is a Prag Vyakshata Yoho. That which was explained earlier, the aforesaid. Evam uktena prakarena, in the aforesaid manner, Antaram. Antaram means paraspara vilakshanyam. Difference. Difference means one being different from the other. Jadya chaitanya vikaritva nirvikaritva adi rupam. Meaning one is inert, the other is sentient. The one is undergoes transformation, the other which does not undergo any transformation. In this way, jnana chaksha, through the eyes of knowledge. Through the eyes of knowledge means shastra acharya upadesha janita atma jnana rupena chaksha. With the eyes which has gained the knowledge of self through the teaching of acharya of the shastra. Shastra's teaching by the acharya, gaining the knowledge, that knowledge becomes the vision, chakshu, eyes. Ye viduhu, one who knows, bhuta prakriti moksham cha, bhutanam, sarvesham, all the beings, prakriti avidya. The cause for them is avidya, mayakya, which is also referred to as maya. Tasyaha paramarthatvam, paramartha atmavidya. Of that prakriti, of that maya, through the knowledge of absolute self, moksham, liberation, one who gains the liberation, means abhava gamanam. He makes it absent, he makes it inexistence, non-existent. What? The ignorance, cause and the effect. Okay. Ye viduhu yanti te, one who understands it to be non-existent, then that person yanti te param paramarthatma vastu swarupam kaivalyam. He gains the absolute, that which is of the nature of absolute, the liberation. Na punardeham adatta ityartha, meaning he does not gain association with another new embodiment. Tadevam amanitwadi sadhana nishtasya kshetra kshetrajna viveka vijnanavatah sarva anartha nivritya parama purushartha siddhiriti siddham. In this way, this chapter, the result of the chapter is through the amanitva, etc., means one who is established in that, means that very person who is established in the amanitva, etc., means kshetra kshetrajna viveka vijnanavatah. After gaining the duality, the difference between the kshetra and kshetrajna, sarva anartha nivritya, he gains the, because of that knowledge of duality, knowledge of the substratum, knowledge of duality is knowledge of substratum. Through that, sarva anartha nivritya, he gets rid of all the troubles. Therefore, parama purushartha siddhi, he gains the absolute purushartha. Parama purushartha is the absolute purushartha, the absolute goal of the pursuit of human being, moksha. Iti siddham. This is established here. Iti Shri Paramsa Parivrajacharya Shri Vishveshwara Saraswati Shri Pada Shishya Shri Madhusudana Saraswati Vrachitayam Shrimad Bhagavad Gita Gaurartha Deepikayam Shri Kshetra Kshetrajna Veko Nama Trayodashodhyayah. With this, we come to the end of the 13th chapter. We'll see the 14th chapter. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.